So it's pretty well known that the UFC has a problem, a cuck problem. Many fighters, including, Sean O'Malley, Ian, cuck Gary, a lot of fighters who, clearly cucks. When it's actually kind of worrying at this point, you know, because you assume those guys, you assume these guys are, cool, strong, but all of those guys are cucks when it actually kind of scares me. So I have laid down the reason why this might be happening and also, possible solutions to stop this. So number one, I have inbreeding. So inbreeding is very common in the UFC. You know, prime example is Paul Rose Jr. He's iconic. You have but even people who are not as extreme, like Sean O'Malley, even he has his clear indications of incest and inbreeding. So it's very clear that um, inbreeding has a big correlation with being a cuck. That's proven by science, by the way. And you have people like Marab who's a cuck also. So then number two we have diet. So to my surprise, there are actually a few fighters who are being or wearing, and to no one's surprise, they're all cucks. You have again Ian Gary who has sorry, his ex-wife's now his wife's ex-husband as his nutritionist. You know, you have and he looks fucking like shit, and his testosterone level is probably completely shit. You have Sean O'Malley who looks like Slender Man. It's absolutely horrendous. So I think diet probably plays a big role too. You don't see behavior like this from Sean Strickland or Alexander Volkanovski, people who actually eat meat and shit. So the next point we have drugs. I have nothing against a little bit of alcohol here and there, but a lot of those people seem to overuse those substances, especially like the big three, like cocaine, weed, marijuana, and alcohol are very common. And I mean, those things are known scientifically to decrease testosterone. So I think those might have probably are for sure a cause for this effect, and also make you pretty retarded. And then I think the last point we have, physique. Generally, if you have good genetics, you don't become a fighter. It's my opinion. If you have really good genetics, you go to the NBA, you go, to the NFL, you do stuff like this. You generally only fight if there are no other options for you athletically, or you can kind of see that. Like again, the two prime examples of cucks. We have Sean O'Malley and Ian Gary, who both look absolutely horrendous. And I guess it's also not completely genetics. Also, probably they're from all the weed and all the shit diet probably makes them have no energy to do any exercise. So it's a coin that has two sides essentially. And then we have the questions: how do we fix it? Like I don't know. Um, but I would just say, okay, just stop, just the things that you do now that are terrible. I mean, you can fix with the inbreeding, but just look at your diet. Don't do drugs and do some exercise. And I think this whole CAC thing would probably improve by a lot. So, but that's just my opinion. What do you think, guys? So yeah.